Hey guys, how's it going? Just coming in with another video here. Now this video I'm about to do is going to be a bit of a review, or retrospective, depending on what you want to refer to it as. Um, Now this video here is going to be about the most recent Super Sentai show. Not Russia Sentai Kyoryuger, which just started airing recently, but Zyuden Sentai Kyoryuger, which started last year and then ended earlier this month. Now, like I said, this is going to be a review, retrospective, I guess, and what my thoughts are on it. But yeah, now, what does the Zyuden Sentai stand for? Translated into, English, it's, looking up TV tropes here. Roughly, it stands for Beast Power Squadron Dinosaur Ranger. Now, I guess it's basically, the basic premise of the show is where, it's a dinosaur show. And a long time ago, I'm paraphrasing off of TV tropes here. A long time ago, in the age of dinosaurs, the Earth came under attack by an alien force known as the D-Boss Army. However, they were defeated by a team of dinosaurs given supernatural powers and sealed within the polar ice caps. Torin, the divine mentor of the heroes, stored the souls of these brave dinosaur warriors in capsules, so that their power would be called upon if the threat of the D-Boss ever returned. Now in the modern age, a new team of humans are scouted by Torin to fight against the revived D-Boss army, defeating their partner dinosaurs in single combat to earn their trust and respect. These chosen warriors are known as These chosen are granted their awesome historic power and their ability to become the new generation of heroes, the Kyoryuger. That's basically the basic premise of the show. Now, and of course, who are all the characters? Let's see, there's Daigo, or King, Red. He's the confident and courageous leader. He's also known as, during the roll call, he's known as the Fanged Hero. See, there's Ian, Ian Yorkland, Kyoru Black. Let's go back to Ranger Wiki at this point. Bear with me here again, like I said. Like I said, Daigo Kiro is Fang Brave. I'm going by Ranger Wiki at this point. Ian Yorkland is the Bullet Brave. Kiro Black. Sorry if I'm sounding redundant. Nobu Haru, which is called No-san, because that's what his nickname is it was Kyoru Blue, or let's see. The Armored Brave, Kyoru Blue, No-san. And then there's Soji, Kyoru Green, the Flashing Brave. There's Amy, or the show pronounces it as Ami, but I pronounce it with the A. That's me. She's the horned heroine, Pink. And then there's Utsuse Mimaru, the Thundering Hero, Kyoru Gold. His nickname is Uchi. Utchy. Uchi. Those are the main heroes. And they're throughout the course of the show. There also there's the sub-Ryugers, Ramirez, one of the Spirit Rangers, Kyorusian. Then there's Gray, Tessai, which is coincidentally there's the first time we've ever had a hero wear the color gray. And there's Dr. Allshade. When he first appears, he first becomes Kyoru Violet. Then he transfers his powers over to his granddaughter, Yoi. And then there's Torin himself, the mentor of the team, becomes Silver. Yeah. I guess those are the protagonists and the heroes, and they're going up against the D-Boss army, who they try to destroy the Earth, of course, and by using emotion, which is pretty cool. Now, what do I think of the show overall? And sorry if I'm dragging ass, by the way. But what? I mean, it was a fun show. I will say that. I don't want to claim for it to be perfect, but it was a fun ride. Now, the main criticism I've heard is the fact on how they use Daigo. Now, of course, Daigo being red, he was the lead protagonist. The thing is, though, is that they kind of they made him they made him too much of a protagonist. In the sense that like you're using the shonen protagonist trope with him, like making him seem like he was a god and perfect and all. They just kind of put too much emphasis on him. I guess to the point where some detractors were calling the show like Daigo Sentai Kyoryuger, because Daigo's nickname was King, by the way. That's what they started calling it, Daigo Sentai Kyoryuger. Now, I will agree to the idea that maybe they didn't need to put too much emphasis on King. They could have taken a little bit of it away, removed a little bit of the emphasis on him. But at the same time, it is red after all. But of course, I know that doesn't justify pushing everybody else aside. I guess what I've heard is like when you take red-centric shows like Mask Man, Geki Ranger, and Shinkenger. I haven't seen any of those Sentai shows yet, but from what I understand, those are red-centric shows. This is what I've heard my friend Mike here say, by the way. I'm just quoting off of him, just paraphrasing. I've heard Mike say that you could take shows like Mask Man and Geki Ranger and Shinkenger, and like you remove everybody. Like those are red-centric shows, and you take away everybody else from those teams. They'd be missing something. But if you take away everybody else, and just leave King behind there, the show wouldn't be any different. So, like I said, they could have maybe done it without putting too much emphasis on King. But at the same time, though, it had some positive aspects to it. At least going by my interpretation, they didn't totally forget about everybody else. I mean, there have been times where some of the other Kyoryugers were able to figure out problems on their own and figure things out about without having King come in and help them. That's one good aspect, in my opinion. And they were pretty consistent with the story too, and like No-san wanting to protect his family and all, and while not letting them know that he's a Kyoryuger, and all, and right after Torin became Silver, Soji wanted to learn his learn the Torin's signature move, which would be called um what was it? Um, Trinity Stricer, something like that. You know, it kind of kept on going with that little plot point right there, and to the point where near the end, Torin says, "Here, use my sword, Soji." You know what I mean. um, but yeah, I guess it's just they did stray away from King every once in a while, so I'll give them props for that. And the music, it really did kind of fit the tone of the show because I think it was somewhat kid friendly, I guess, you know, and the music fit the tone of the show for one thing, and I guess it did a pretty good balance of between being serious and being humorous. Although they occasionally uh, did a little bit of what's known as a mood whiplash. You know, like in this case where an episode might end on a bleak note, and then they do the ending theme, which is called Mina Atsumeri, which is a very happy and very campy and all. We're all dancing and everything. If you've watched the Sentai before, you'll know what I'm talking about. But you know, well, like I said, there have been certain times where the episode would end on a bleak note, and then they would play that song during the closing credits, and it's kind of like a mood whiplash right there. So, but another cool thing about this show is that we've had a lot of returning Sentai actors. You know, like what's his name, Tessai Kyoryuger. He previously played in Bokenger. He was Boken Silver. He came back here to play Tessai, and then Tessai's descendant, which is cool. So, Tessai's actor, Boken Silver, had the distinct honor of playing 3 Sentai heroes and 2 Sentai shows. And then we have one of the villains named Endol. He was voiced by Mega Blue from Mega Ranger. Soji's parents previously acted in Dynaman. His dad was Dyna Black, and his mom was Dyna Pink. I think one of them may have acted in Goggle 5. I could be wrong, don't quote me on that. I don't know, but like I said, Dyna Black and Dyna Pink. Now, King's dad was a major supporting character in the show. I think he, from what I hear, according to my friend Mike, and my friend Alex too, King's dad's actors credited played a villain in 5-Man. According to Mike and Alex, that's not the case. It was a guy with a similar name, and King's dad's actor was just mistakenly given that credit of having acted in 5-Man. So, I don't know. I would just take that idea there with a grain of salt. That King's dad's actor was a 5-Man actor. Just, I guess it's true. Don't believe everything you read on the internet, but just take that with a grain of salt. Is what I'm going to say. Yeah, but like I said, just see what else. I guess when you take away the characters, all some of the flaws, I guess. Like I said, there are some good aspects. I guess, like, No-san, I like him. I like No-san. He was funny, you know. He's always cracking puns all the time. He always cracked out at least one every episode. You know, in this Facebook group I'm part of, Tokusatsu group. You know, it's kind of weird. Some of my friends call me Nosen because I'm always cracking puns and all. um, yeah, but like I said, just no, Nosen. I like him. He's funny. You know, if you watched Kyoryuger, you'll know what I'm talking about. But you know, like I said, I like him. Uh, and Ian Yorkland, Black. This is something I will give the show props for. Um, he's in a dinosaur show. Uh, he wears all black, and he's the Black Ranger. And he's in a show about dinosaurs. We'll take back to Jurassic Park. There's Jeff Goldblum's character, Ian Malcolm, who's in a franchise about dinosaurs. Wears all black. His name is Ian. I will admit, if they were going for subtlety, you know, they got me pretty well, because I didn't actually catch on to that until we were well into the show. Until I think maybe we were in the 30s that I actually caught on. Somewhere around there, I think, give or take, somewhere around the 30s, early 30s maybe. And like I said, I didn't catch on to that until well into the show. And if they were going for subtlety, I'll give them props for that. You know, so just just I guess just so. What do I think of the show overall? It was a fun ride. It had flaws to it, but it was a fun ride, nonetheless. And I guess would my overall rating be? I guess from a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the best and 1 being the worst, I would say I'd probably give it a 3.5, probably. I mean, I guess that's how they executed King was the main criticism I've heard. You know, and they put too much emphasis on him. And I'll agree that maybe they didn't need to do that, put too much emphasis. But at the same time, there's some good aspects to it. And so I guess I'm kind of taking the good with bad in this case. So, well, of course, me personally, I wouldn't use King as the sole reason why. That's why I would dislike, oh, I hate the show because King, it's just all about him, yada yada yada. Just, as I said, I'm taking the bad with the good on this one. So, and on a side note, I think this is the first Sentai since Kyoryuger to have had 48 episodes. So, and in one of my previous videos, I talked about the fact that as of next year, this Sentai is going to become Power Rangers, and they're skipping Go Busters. Because I think because Go Busters didn't have high enough ratings to warrant a full adaptation in Power Rangers. I think they're going to be using some elements into it, but I guess we'll just have to await further developments, I guess. I'm gonna digress for a second, and when I say, when it comes to Go Busters and being adapted, some people wanted it to be like a sequel to RPM. Now we know that since Lost Galaxy, each PR season has been, for the most part, fairly self-contained. RPM doesn't need a sequel. It's fine just the way it is. Go Busters does not need to be a sequel to it. So, maybe in a sense, with Go Busters not being fully adapted, maybe that's a good thing in the sense that we won't be getting the long-desired sequel to RPM. But like I said, RPM is fine the way it is. It does not need a sequel. I guess each PR season at this point is probably best being self-contained, except for the annual team-up that we've had in recent times, but just, I don't know. But just, But I guess that overall, that's my review and slight digression of Kyoryuger. And like I said, overall I give it a 3.5 out of 5. So hope you enjoyed this review. And if would I recommend it? Sure, I would think so. Yeah. So if you can easily find it, I hope you can go back and check it out. And I hope you enjoy it. And I hope you enjoyed Zyuden Sentai Kyoryuger. And I hope you enjoyed this video here and enjoy what I had to say. So rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. I'm dragging ass at this point, waiting to get to 21 minutes. Bye, guys.